Okay. So for those of you that were not here, let's take a look at how we got to that letter C. I will read that and then we'll try to solve for R at the bottom, and then we'll go on to today's lesson on literal equations, which I think is very easy compared to what we're doing here. All right, suppose a friend tells you she paid a total of $16,368 for a car. You'd like to know the car's list price, the price you pay before taxes, so you can compare prices at various dealers. Find the list price of the car if your friend bought the car in, and we did this for Arizona, and we did this for New York, and now we are doing it where the sales tax was R. Guess it might be Pirate Land or something. I don't know. You know? Ooh, a slight smile. I think it was forced though. Anyway, P is the list price. Okay, P is the list price. R is the amount of the sales tax. So letter D says we need to solve for R. How the heck can I solve for R? What can I do to possibly begin solving for R? So now let me repeat myself and say this is where we make sure all the electronics are put away, all phones put away, all Apple Watches, your headphones should be off both ears, okay? How can I solve for R if what we have is this? Good question. Say it again. Equals R. What equals R? Or that's what you're saying, that's how we should start out, maybe? Well, I think we're going to have to start out with this because that's the equation I'm going from. Okay? So I got to start with P equals 16,368 divided by 1.0 R. And so R, we said, can be any number. If it was a 3% sales tax, it would be, dividing by 1.03. If it was 85% sales tax, which I hope not ever, then it would be 1.85. Yeah. But I need to get R here by itself. First of all, I noticed, what position is R in? Is it on the top? Is it on the bottom? Multiply by the reciprocal. Okay. Say more about that. What? The reciprocal of what? Multiply by what again? Say it. Say what you just said again. Multiply. So multiply everything. I'm sorry. Go ahead. To get R by itself. Now, multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal. Oh, I think I see. No, I don't think I do. Okay. But like I said, right now, if I look at this as P equals 16,368 divided by 1.0 R, it's down in the denominator. Think of it as the bottom part of that fraction. How could I at least get it up into a numerator, the top? I mean, what could we do here? So, like if I had, if I said T equals 3/5, okay, what could I do over here to get 5 out from being in the denominator? Multiply by. If I do that, you have to multiply by 5 on both sides. These 5's cancel out. Then I get 5t equals 3. That at least gets it up out of the denominator, right? Yes? Do we see that? Does that kind of make sense? Just say yes. Yes, yes, of course. So what should I do in that same way for getting this 1.0r out of the denominator? I'm sorry, I heard multiply by.
Multiply by r.
Just r? 1.0r. Yeah, let's multiply by everything. So yes, you should be writing this down. Let's multiply by 1.0r on both sides of the equation, because whatever you do to one side when it comes to equations, you have to do to the other. So on the right-hand side, what's going to happen? They're going to simplify out, right? And over on the left-hand side, I get 1.0r times p, maybe I'll put that in parentheses just so I know we're multiplying here, equals 16,368. Okay. What are we trying to solve for again? R. Okay. Just want to make sure we keep that at the top. What could I do, or what do you think you would do next? Multiply by what? Remember, we're trying to get r by itself. Come on, put on your thinking caps. What do I need to eliminate or move if I want to get r by itself? Yes, we need to divide by p, right? We don't need that p variable in there. And we know 1.0r is being multiplied by p, so let's divide by p. Divide by p on both sides. P's simplify out. I get 1.0r equals 16,368 divided by p. Okay, we're getting really close. You're like, really? Okay. Now, this is 1.0r equals that amount on the right. I want to get r by itself. Fernando, eyes up here, please. Kaylee, any thoughts? Subtract 1. What is that going to do? Yes, she's right. She is exactly right. This is 1.0r. If I take away 1, okay, that means I have to take away 1 on the other side. I don't know really how to do that, so I'm just going to put it all behind, right? So 1.0r minus 1, what is that going to give me? What's r minus 0? Good. 0 minus 0 is 0, 1, so that's just 0.0r, 0.0r, and that's equal to 16,368 over p minus 1. You're like, oh man, that right-hand side's looking pretty ugly. But hey, we're getting really close. I want to get r by itself. Right now, how would you say this? How would you say this mathematically? I have r, what? What place value is that in? Yeah, this is R hundredths right now. And I just want to get R. So what would I need to do here? We are so close. I have R hundredths. Okay, what do you want to divide? Well, if I divide by 0.0 R, what am I going to have left? 1. If we're dividing, I have 1, right? Because I'm simplifying out. So I don't think I want that, because I want R. What would you multiply by? I mean, look, this is decimal point 0 R. If I want R by itself, where do I want that decimal point to be? How do I move it to the right? Yes, very good. Very good tag team answer there. Yes, you would want to multiply by 100. And when you multiply a decimal by 100, you move it 2 places to the right. So we could put over here, we're going to multiply everything by 100. And when I do that, I get R equals, they're like, oh my gosh, what do we do here? Well, if you have a number and you have an expression over here, what's that D word that we need to use? You need to distribute. What is 100 times that first expression? It's going to be 16368 with 2 zeros because you multiplied by 100 and then put that in. So that's 1,636,800 over P, because we're just multiplying by 100 with the numerator, minus, what would this last term be? 100. Do we have R by itself? Yes. So that is the final answer. Whew. That was pretty intense. Wigwam, teepee, and circus tents. No? Okay. I thought that was a good one. Have you ever heard that one? Intense, wigwam, teepee, and circus. All right. Questions on that? That is really pretty intense. I don't think we will have one quite that difficult on the test, but you will have to know and how to manipulate some of these numbers and equations to rearrange them, which is a great lead in to page 88, which is talking about literal equations. Literal equations. So here we are looking for a specific variable in all of these equations. And literal meaning we're using letters. So literal does mean we're using letters here. So the first one is the area of, I guess, a rectangle. And area is equal to height times width. We need to solve for h, meaning I need to isolate and get h by itself. Okay? First of all, let's see, how many do we have here? We have 5. I am going to give you 5 minutes to get the first 3 done. I want to see what you can do already, okay? So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, see what you can do. You can even talk with a partner or frenemy next to you and see what you can get. I can tell right there, some frenemies. I see it. They even looked at each other. All right, so 5 minutes. For letter A, solve for H. Letter B, solve for W. And letter C, solve for H. Probably won't take you, some of you. This actually is really good to go through and over for the upcoming test. When is the test? A week from Friday. A week from Friday. So A equals HW, solve for H. I want to get H by itself. Okay? What's happening between H and W? Multiplied. So I need to break that bond of multiplication and divide. What am I dividing by? W. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. If your pen works. All right. So when I simplify, W's are going to simplify out, and H is equal to A divided by W. That's H by itself, right? Can I simplify that at all? No. So that is your final answer. You're like, that's it? Yeah, that's it. Questions on that? All right. Aiden, are you with me? Letter B. P equals 2W plus 2H. First of all, what is this a formula of? Do you know? It is a formula. Something. No? Think about it. We'll come back to it. I want to solve for W. I want to get that W by itself. I've got this extra stuff, 2H. So, who do I talk to? Andrew. How would I solve for W here? What should I do first? Okay, and how do I do that mathematically? Well, we want to get W by itself. You're right about that. But I don't think I want to move it. So I don't want to divide because I want to keep the W. But I've got this extra stuff. What's my extra stuff up here? So what should I do with that to move it? Divide. So if I divide by 2H, I have to divide this by 2H. Well, that 2H is being added, right? If I want to move that whole thing, what's the opposite of subtraction? So subtract 2H. Make sure you do the same thing on the opposite side of the equal sign. The 2H's cancel out over here, and we get P minus 2H equals 2 times W. I'm solving for W. Okay? Jaden, what would I do here if I'm trying to get W by itself? You can do this. What's happening between 2 and W right now? And so to undo that multiplication, I should divide. What am I going to divide by? 2. So divide by 2. You can either write it like this and divide every term by 2, or you can put it all over 2. The 2 simplify out. I have W equals, so you can have P over 2 minus, what is 2H over 2? Can I simplify that? H. So you could have it like this, or you could also have it as P minus 2H divided by 2. So this would work, and this would also work. Okay? Does that make sense, kind of? If you divide every term by 2, you would get to simplify it down to P divided by 2 minus H. And if you just leave the whole expression divided by 2, then you get what's on the right. Questions on that? Okay. Let's go to C, the last one of the 3 that we're doing here. I am solving for H. H, H, H. Cameron, how's football going?
It's going okay.
It's going okay. What position do you play? Defensive line. So you get hit a lot, right? Ooh. Okay. I want to get H by itself. We've got all this other stuff in front of it. What is happening with H and all that other stuff in front of it? What's the operation? Are we adding it? Are we subtracting, multiplying, dividing? Multiplying. So what should I do to undo that multiplication? Divide it. So if I want to get H by itself, what am I going to divide by? Yeah, keep the H. We want H. Pi r squared. So if I divide by pi r squared here, I need to divide by pi r squared over here. What happens to everything on the right? It's going to simplify out, right? And so I have H equals V divided by pi r squared. Excellent. You just have to try to ask yourself the same kind of questions that I am. You're trying to get H by itself. What's happening with H now? Is it being added to, subtracted from, multiplied? And you need to undo whatever that operation is. Any questions on those three? All right, let's go to the last two. This is where it gets a little more tricky. Not terribly, though. All right, letter D. Letter D. I think we could maybe do this one together since we're running out of time. I am trying to solve for A. Trying to solve for A. Get A by itself. Who haven't I talked to lately? Jamani. If I want to get A by itself, and I've got some term plus this A term, what do you think you might do first? Any ideas? We want to keep the A where it's at. We don't want to move the A. What might I want to get rid of? Any? Well, do you think I want to get rid of this whole term? No. Does this have anything to do with A right now? Is A really close with it? No. So maybe I want to get rid of that. And that is being added to this A term. So to undo that addition, I want to, what's the opposite of addition? There you go. So let's subtract. V sub naught times T. Whatever you do on that side, you have to do to the other. Minus V sub naught, or sub 0, times T. This term cancels out, and I have on the left H minus V sub naught T, because I cannot combine those. And that is equal to my other term, 1/2 times A times T squared. All right. Well, at least I've got A down to one term. What to do next? Who's got an idea? See if we can pick up the pace. What do you want to divide by? Yes, it is being multiplied. So what do you want to divide by? Okay, let's divide by T squared. Let's divide this by T squared. T squareds are going to cancel out. So I'm left, I'm going to rewrite this over here. I have h minus v sub naught t all divided by t squared equals 1/2 times a. Is everybody with me? I probably should show that too. All right, we're solving for a. We are almost there. Cameron, other Cameron. She's like, oh, not now. How do I undo that 1/2 a? Because I want a by itself, and we are so close. Divide. Okay, what am I going to divide by? Okay, so we think we want to divide by 1/2, but look at what happens here. I mean, that looks really long and complicated, right? Instead of dividing by a fraction, what could I do that's the same, that gives me the same result? By, no, if I want to divide by 1/2, I can't multiply by 1/2. The reciprocal, yes. So let's, instead of dividing by 1/2, multiply by its reciprocal, which means you are flipping the top and the bottom. You multiply by 2/1, multiply by 2/1. The 2 and the 2 here are going to simplify out. I'm left with just a equals, okay, we could distribute this, and so this would be 2h minus 2v naught t all divided by t squared. That's one way to write it. Or if you wanted to put the t squared underneath each term separately, it would be 2h divided by t squared minus 2v naught. Now here you have a t and a t squared, so I could put this over t, and that would be equal to a. All right. Okay. Either one of these. Either one. All right. We got one more. Let's see if we can get through this somewhat quickly. Somewhat quickly for time. We need to solve for y. Don't pack them up yet. Solve for y. And I have y in two different terms here. Yes, Riley, what do you think? Mm-hmm. On both sides, right? Really? Yeah, this is in the denominator. Get it out of the denominator. It looks like a fraction. We don't like fractions. I mean, really, who does like fractions? Not I. All right, so if I multiply by that over 1, these cancel out. On the left, I have 2xy minus 7 equals, and on the right, when you multiply anything by 1, you get that same thing, right? 3xy plus 8. All right, so I've got a couple different terms here. I'm trying to solve for y. But I've got y's over here, and I have y's over here. Somebody help me. Help me. What do I do? Demarius, what would I do here? What do you think? Okay, yeah, because these are like terms. They end in xy, right? So let's subtract it and get them to the same side. Minus 2xy minus 2xy. And this cancels out. I have negative 7 equals 1xy plus 8. All right, somebody add on to that. Rodney, what would I do next? Trying to solve for y. We've got this other stuff, 8, just hanging over there. What should I do with that 8? Divide. Now, is 8 being multiplied by something? It's being added. So I don't want to divide. I probably should subtract. So let's subtract 8. Subtract 8 over here. 8's cancel out. Negative 7 minus 8. Yes, negative 15 is equal to 1xy. I don't really need the 1. I can just do the xy. And I'm trying to solve for y. I want y by itself. What should I do? Jesse? Divide by x. Did you say that? Or was that him? Who said that? Oh, well, yeah, I heard both. So divide by x because it's being multiplied by. X's cancel out. Y is equal to negative 15 divided by x. There it is. So, yeah, looking at the whole problem seems a little scary at times. Just break it down step by step. It's not so bad. All right, so now you can begin working on homework 2-3. Fernando, all of our homework is on Canvas. So you probably could also do 2-1 and 2-2 whenever they get you switched over if you already have that. Let's just see how we do in getting you, because we're probably about halfway through this current chapter. It is all on equations. I know you know what an equation is, how to solve it probably, but this is a little bit more in-depth with some stuff, okay? Test is 1 week from this Friday. We will review next Wednesday and Thursday. There's still time to do retakes, which I know some of you are probably waiting on me to look at your corrected information. And yes, I'm behind on grading again. But I'm almost done with my other chapter for my other class, so yay! All right, good job today. I like how we're all working together, talking loud. Just be actively participating. That's the best way to stay on top of this class, okay?